You know what I was thinking? Kind of just something that just, crossed my mind, kind of. If you think about it, that thing we call love, right? It's pretty fucking rare, right? They say that, some people say that there's multiple soulmates out there for you. You just gotta find one of them. Or if you're into the poly vibe, find a bunch of them. And then others say that there's only one soulmate out there for you. And others say that their soulmate is already left and gone. Because once they realized that it was their soulmate, it was too fucking late. That's pretty sad to think about. But there's also a part of it. It's also pretty beautiful to think about. With that being said, life is, we all know life is pretty unpredictable. Nothing in life lasts forever. Nothing. And everything in life changes. It's one of the things in life that is inevitable, besides death, is change. And one of the biggest things that changes in life is people. People change all the fucking time. All the fucking time, man. Even the people we love are destined to change up on us. Even the people we think love us are destined to change up on us. Not every change is going to be bad, and not every change is going to be good. And not every change is going to lead to some detrimental ending of the friendship or relationship or familyship. You know, um, so with that being said, I think it's best that you live life, you live every moment in life to its very fullest potential. You know, and I know that sounds cliche, but how about this? Let me get, if you're not, even if you don't stay for the whole stream, right? Let me just get 1 more minute of your time. 1 minute. For 1 minute, why don't you just step outside real quick? Step outside real quick for 1 minute. Stand there in complete silence. And look up at the sky. Look up at the sky and just contemplate. Just think. Like, how amazing life is, but also how amazing life is gonna be. Just something to kind of, just a little exercise for y'all, something to kind of clear your mind, put you in a positive mindset, positive space. Yeah, give yourself some time. I'll wait 30 seconds, just in case. I think it's important. And yes, you could consider this a form of meditation. I have been guilty of meditation before. I don't really practice meditation much anymore, just because my lifestyle right now has not allowed for it. Hell, what the fuck am I talking about? I could be meditating right now. I could actually be meditating right now if I wanted to, if I really wanted to, right? But I'd rather do this. I'd rather do this. Most definitely. So, what up, Cloudy Gang? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? How's it going? I don't want to know how it's hanging. But I do hope that you're all doing super well tonight. Super good. And I'm not going to say what I usually say about how the stream tonight is going to be super different. Nah, it's not. It's not going to be different tonight. Because tonight I just want to take a moment, kind of slow shit down, and get a little real with you, get straight up with you, and I want to kind of start this stream with a talk about not just like the journey we're all on, because I know that sounds not only cliche, but it also sounds deep. And if this is deep, you should know that I can go even deeper, but bear with me. Because, sometimes we all just kind of just need to hit the pause button and talk about shit. You know what I mean? Kind of clear your head, kind of clear your mind, kind of get, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of recycle a bit, kind of recycle some shit out of our system by using our tongues, our mouths. They say the tongue is one of the most dangerous weapons in human existence. But I also believe, on top of that, that it can also be one of the best things ever. Because you can do your mouth to do all kinds of things. And it can lead to health within you. I mean, your mouth is like the gateway to your body, which is also can be, the gateway to a lot of other amazing things. You know, your health, your physical health starts with your mouth. You know, the way you talk to yourself. You know, some people talk to themselves in their heads. Some people talk to themselves out loud. You know, and if you talk to yourself out loud, using your mouth to speak positivity into yourself, that can lead to great mental health. Among many other things. I don't want to go on this whole rant about your fucking mouth like I'm your fucking dentist or some shit. You know what I mean? Like keep it. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. I'm gonna keep that one. You know, but shit, man. Here we are. Another day or night, another stream. But I think tonight I wanna share some thoughts that have not just been on my mind, but have actually been on my heart. Right. And it's weird because like, have you ever missed somebody that you technically aren't supposed to miss? If that makes sense. Like not like in like a dirty, grimy way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like I miss my ex and I'm in a new relationship. No, fuck no. They're your ex for a fucking reason, by the way. But no, like on some shit like somebody walked in somewhere, said something amazing to you, and you're like, what the fuck? Don't even know this person. And they just bounced. You never saw them again in your fucking life. And you almost miss you're probably not missing them, but you're missing how that made you feel, how that interaction made you feel. Right? And that kind of walks me into the very beginning of what could possibly be an amazing conversation. You ever notice how some people come into your life and it feels like they just kind of like appear out of thin air type shit, if that makes sense. Like at first it's like okay, let's put it like this. It's like a breeze, you know, like when the wind blows, they blow in, they change the air around you, and then shit, they gone, they leave, you know, and you don't always understand why or when, but it happens. It happens, and for a lot of us, those people, they make an impact. Maybe they make a small impact. Maybe they make a big ass impact in our lives, but they leave something of value behind. It's like they leave a piece of themselves. You know, it's like they leave it's like they leave footprints on your heart, if that makes sense. You know, they come into your life, and before you even realize the shit, poof, they're gone. Like it's almost like they were kind of meant to pass through, like they were drifters. You know what I mean? Like, but they weren't like hitchhikers. They were just drifters, if that makes sense. Like they were meant to pass through, you know, and they leave you with like a quick moment of feeling like you're connected, like a quick moment of understanding, you know, and then they're off to see the wizard. No, I'm just bullshitting, but they're off to their own journey, their own story, or whatever the fuck they got going on, right? But then, but then there's those people who stick around for a while, right? You got those people too. They stay, they leave an impression on you, and not just a memory, you know, but something deeper, a like I said, like a shit, like an imprint on your heart. You know what I mean? Like those people, they change you, and you're never the same after they've crossed your path. Maybe they teach you something. Maybe they, just make you see the world a little differently. Or maybe they remind you of who you are. Especially if you're like starting to forget who the fuck you are, you know. And those are two different people that I just spoke on, just so we make that clear. Those are two different types of people, but it's kind of funny, the people who come and go, they may not always stay forever, but they give us something, and not just anything. They give us something that we didn't even fucking have before. Like before they showed up, you might not have realized some shit. You know what I mean? And that's something we carry with us way, 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 way after they've already came and gone. You know what I mean? And honestly, that is such a beautiful thing because it's one of those things. It's one of those things we don't always realize. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not explaining it, but we don't always realize until we look back and realize how much they kind of changed us or shaped us or molded us or however you want to put it. And that's just crazy to fucking think about. And I'm gonna speak for y'all for a second, and I'm gonna speak for myself as well as a whole. So to everyone who's ever left a footprint on your heart and on my heart, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Right? Like, you've made me and shit, all of us, right? Everybody in the stream, everybody listening right now, everybody watching this video, whatever. You made us just a tad bit better just by being here for that short period of time. And it's the kind of thing that's hard to explain, but we feel it deep down. Straight up. And that reminds me of something. That reminds me of some shit. And I don't mean to sound dramatic or anything, right? But that reminds me of some shit. But, to also add to that point, when that happens, you're literally never the same again. You know what I mean? Like, not in a bad way, though. Like, in a good way, you're literally never the same again. But that reminds me of this time. It was Christmas fucking Eve, man. Christmas Eve, cold as fuck outside. There was snow all over the fucking roads. And I just left this little Christmas party. And I ain't even gonna lie. I was drinking a little bit at the Christmas party. I was young, young and dumb. And I was drinking a little bit at the Christmas party. And I wasn't drunk. I was good enough to drive. I drank a lot of water. I was, it was at least a few hours since my last drink, and I wasn't like drunk. You know what I mean? I didn't even get drunk. You know what I mean? It was like some champagne and wine there. I had a good time. Yada yada yada. Right. But I wasn't like fucked off. You know what I mean? And I said my goodbyes. It was my time to leave the party, and I'm just about ready to pull out on the main road. And as I'm pulling out on the main road, there's an intersection that's not really an intersection, but I don't really realize it because there's a median right here in the middle, but I don't see it because there's for some reason in this area, there's no fucking streetlights. No fucking streetlights at all. So this specific area is dark. But 150 feet down there, you got street lights. 150 feet down there, you got street lights. But this specific area was dark. And I'm thinking that I could just go straight, wait a little bit, yield, and hop on it. Nobody was there. It was like 3 a.m. or some shit. Nobody was around. And so I hit the gas, not crazy, hit the gas, went right over the fucking median, popped my tire, but I don't really realize it at this time. So I'm like, oh shit, there's a fucking median here. What the fuck? So I back up. I'm like, okay, cool. Car, there's nothing going on with the car. I didn't get any lights on the dash. It's not making a funny noise. I'm like, man, I don't even know how I feel like getting out right now and this shit. So you know what? Let's just go. So I do what I got to do, go around the median, come back around, go the way I needed to go. And as I'm driving, I'm chilling, right? All of a sudden, lights start coming on the fucking dash. I'm already driving for like 5 minutes. All of a sudden, the lights start coming on the fucking dash. Fucking car starts making a weird fucking noise. I'm like, fuck. So I pull over. I pull over at this gas station. I can't remember the name of the fucking gas station, but I pull over this gas station. Actually, it was Murphy's. It was a Murphy's gas station. I pull over this Murphy's gas station, and I'm thinking, I probably just need some air in the tire and we'll be straight. So I pull over to the tire fill up station, and I get out. I look at my tire. That shit, my steering wheel is straight, mind you. I get out and I look at my tire. My wheel is turned all the way out. So obviously I broke a tie rod, right? Fucked my shit clean off. I didn't really realize it. At this time, I did not realize I broke a tie rod. I just thought like my wheel's just flat. You know what I mean? Like I just thought my wheel's just flat or my rim just got busted and I just need a new wheel and tire. And then I realized it's Christmas Eve. So everything's fucking closed. And I waited in my car because the gas station was closed. No tire people, no tow people were answering their phones. I even had AAA at this time. No cap. Guess how long the wait was for a tow truck? I think it was 8 hours. It's like 6 to 8 hours of some astronomical ass shit. So I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I'm in my car, freezing my ass off. I got the heat on. The car's on, you know what I mean? But I'm freezing my ass off still. Fucking, sucked. And I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I was outside kind of looking at my shit. And all of a sudden a car pulls up. And he's like, hey man, you good? And it was this young white dude, man. And he was like, and fuck his race. I don't really care what race he is, right? But he was like, hey man, you good? And I'm like, shit, not really, bro. Like my shit's fucked. You know what I mean? And he's like, well, let me check it out. So he gets out, he checks it out, whatever. There's not really much he can do. He doesn't really have the tools. And like, we get to chopping it up. And he starts telling me his situation and how his family just kicked him out of the house because he lost his job or something, and they're like all pissed at him. I'm like, damn, they did you like that on Christmas Eve? And he's like, yeah, like it's a fucked up situation, yada, yada, yada. So he has he don't even know where he's gonna sleep that night. You know what I mean? And so he's going through his own shit, like some serious shit. And I'm like, damn, bro, like that's shitty. And he was like, but shit, fuck all that. Like, man, like, let's see if we can get you a fucking tire or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, hop in, bro. I got you. I was like, all right, bet. So I get in. It's Christmas Eve, man. We literally drive around for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, man, looking for different ways to try to find me a tire. At one point, we went to a fire station to see if they could help us out. They couldn't help us out. We went to because I sat there and I jacked it up and everything, but there was nothing I could really do about it, right? Because I didn't even have a fucking spare. Yeah. But then we go, where else do we go? Then we go downtown to see if there's people outside. I mean, it's Christmas Eve. A couple people are outside. Some guy tries to fight us for asking him about a tire. Apparently, he was drunk off his ass. dumb shit. I'm telling him like, man, don't even worry about it. We got other shit to fry, bigger fish to fry. Then we're driving down the street. We see two Mexican dudes outside working on a fucking car, and we're like, hey man, what do we have to do, man, to get some help here with a tire, with a some. These people literally give us, I think it was a jack, some other shit. They gave us a bunch of shit that we could try to use to fix this tire. Of course, it didn't work. Man, we were searching high and low for a solution for the situation. And during this time, we were chopping it up about just life and about so many different things. And I really felt like I got to know this dude, right? And we exchanged numbers and shit. And eventually, the 8 hours had passed, and he stuck it out with me, man. 8 hours had passed, and the tow truck showed up, got my shit towed. Then eventually, I got my shit fixed, and it was no issue. Yada yada. Got the tie rod fixed, all that good shit, whatever. I think Midas did it or whatever. But after that day, I wanted to. After I got all that shit situated, because it was literally the next day. No, not Christmas Day. No, the day after Christmas, I think it was. Not Christmas Day. The day after Christmas, I got everything fixed in the car, yada, yada, yada. And I hit old boy's phone, and I guess it turned off. He lost his job. Got nowhere to stay. I'm like, fuck. Because I was like thinking in my head, like, man, when I get back up with homie, I'm going to bless him. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing decent at the time. And I was like, man, I'm gonna bless him, man. I'm gonna give him like $1,000 or something, make his day. Like, Merry fucking Christmas for helping me out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't get a hold of him, and that shit fucked with me for years. Because not only could I not get a hold of him, but man, we had like this genuine like connection that night, right? And I'll never forget this dude. This dude's name was Justin, and we had like this genuine connection that night, man. And I was so sad. Like, I ain't gonna say I was sad, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I was bummed out, shit. I was like, damn, bro, like, he was a cool ass dude. Like, I felt like, we would have continued connecting, you know what I'm saying? Some cool shit. I could have probably taught him some shit. Like, he was a little bit younger than me, I could have probably taught him a lot of shit, kind of, tried to help him out with his situation. Years go by. Years. And I'm at a gas station. And bullshit you not, it's the same brand of Murphy's. And, I'm in line chilling. I get up to the counter, and I bullshit you not, it's Justin behind the counter. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is up? He's like, yo, what the fuck is up? We start chopping it up briefly, you know what I'm saying, on some quick shit. I'm like, bro, give me your number, yada, yada, yada. Gives me his number, man. And I'm like, man, what are you going on break? He goes on break literally 30 minutes. I wait there for 30 minutes, and I had a stack of cash in my pocket. I handed him that stack. I was like, bro, that's all you. He started crying, hugging me, thanking me. And it was one of the greatest feelings I've ever felt, And I've done other stuff too, but it felt good, And after that, I never saw him again. Never saw him again. To this day, same shit. His phone number stopped working. Never saw him again. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, and I kind of got off topic there, but it's like life's a road. And I've got hella stories like that, but that pertain to this specific subject. But it's like life's a road, right? And along the way of your travels, you cross paths with all kinds of fucking people. Some you walk with for a bit, maybe they teach you something, maybe they show you a different perspective, maybe they, I don't know, maybe they make you laugh. Maybe they even challenge you to see the world a little different, and then boom, they're gone. whether it's, I shouldn't have said boom, there's like a fucking gun going off or some shit. Like they died or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like they got popped. Like, no, like, okay, poof, they're gone, right? And whether it's because of distance or, life moving on or, just the natural flow of shit, you know, you just don't ever see them again. But those footprints that I was talking about earlier, those footprints stay with you. They kind of change how you, or they can change how you walk that road. You know, they they change, how you think about life. And you can never unsee things once they've been shown to you. You can't, you know. And if you think about it, that there's a lot of beauty in that shit. We don't stay static. We don't stay the same. We grow and we evolve and shit. You know, but man, you can never unsee some shit once they've been shown to you. Once you see some shit, you can't unsee it. It's like you can't respect somebody. Once they lose your respect, it's almost slim to none. You know, it's kind of the same type of thing. But sometimes that change isn't just about the people we meet. Like when I say growing and evolving, and not staying the same and shit, like it's not just about the people we meet. Sometimes it's about the choices we make for ourselves. If it, like, which actually brings me to another point. Or another thought, I should say, and this thought has actually been on my mind a little bit. It's kind of crossed my mind lightly. But it's something I think is really important, especially in this cold ass, crazy ass world. And I don't even know how to word this, because I don't want to offend. I don't give a fuck about offending anybody, but I don't want it to ever seem like I'm against working a 9 to 5 job, right? But and yes, I'll say it again. I don't give a fuck about offending anybody. So that's not actually reworded that for a reason because that's not at all even close to how I feel, right? But I don't want anybody to feel like there's something wrong with a 9 to 5 job. Like I don't want the kid who just turned 15, 16, working age, but he's got an option to go sell dope or an option to go join the homies on the block and smoke weed and just fuck up his life. But he's also got another option to go work a fucking job. Like, bro, go work that fucking job, dumbass. Like, the fuck is you? That's not even a fucking choice, nigga. Like, but and not everybody has that choice, regardless of what somebody else who never been through that shit told you, But the thought that's been on my mind is never, ever continue working a job that you don't enjoy, man. Like it's one thing to work a 9 to 5, yada yada yada, but and I know it's not always easy, because we all got responsibilities, we all got bills to pay. But on some real shit, life's too short to spend it to spend it doing something that makes you like miserable. Like I get it though. Like sometimes we gotta grind. Sometimes you might work a job to get you somewhere else. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta push through the hard shit. But at the end of the day, if we're constantly doing something that drains our souls, we're not really living our best lives, you know. And you know how sometimes we get stuck in that cycle where we're just doing something because we have to, and it kind of feels like it's never gonna end. You know what I mean? But let me tell you this: if you're happy in what you're doing, if you're genuinely at peace with the 9 to 5 that you're doing, the work that you're doing, something amazing happens. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing too. Like, and from that, something amazing will bloom and blossom. You know, and it starts happening. And what it is you start to really fuck with yourself. Like you really start to like yourself. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds simple, but think about it like this: when you're in a job that you love, when you wake up excited to do what you're doing, shit feels different. You know, it feels different. You feel a sense of fulfillment, a sense of purpose. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's making art, it's coding, helping people, whatever it is, helping people, whatever it is, right? You start liking the person you are. You know, you'll start waking up every day with just a little more like bounce in your step. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know that the work you're doing matters to you. So fuck everybody else because you matter. If that makes sense, you fucking matter. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. What's going on? Huh? What's going on? Did you have a good sleep? I introduce y'all. Oh, well, you guys can't see her that well, but King Corso Luna. Alright, y'all. So, I think she might want to go outside, or maybe not. But give me 1 second, man. I'm on doggy duty right now, so give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Testing, testing. 1, 2, testing, testing. 1, 2. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I'm sure if you guys got pets, you can understand. But what was I saying? It doesn't matter what you're doing, right? But if it gives you a sense of purpose, you start really fucking with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you really start fucking with yourself, and as long as the work you're doing, you fuck with you, and it matters to you. Fuck what whoever has to say about anything. You know what I mean? And But here's the crazy part. When you start feeling that way, right? When you start feeling that inner peace about the work you're doing, everything else starts to fall into place. It's like a is that a domino effect? The fuck is that called? But it's like you unlocked like this level of success that's not and when I say success, this is a level of success that's not measured by the numbers of zeros in your paycheck or your bank account. Or how cool your job title sounds, you know, or how much power you hold. All right, it's measured by strictly and only your happiness. Oh, man, imagine, you know, right? What the fuck am I talking about? Imagine. I've done that for over a decade, you know. But don't get me wrong, it's not everything, and it's not for everybody, and it's not for the faint of heart. And being an entrepreneur, or not even just being an entrepreneur, but doing what you love. I personally enjoy being an entrepreneur. I enjoy opening up businesses. I enjoy doing music. I enjoy making content. You know, these are things I enjoy. So I tried my hardest to find different ways that I could build streams of income strictly around those specific things. You know, and one of the next things on the list is being an author. You know, I want to, you know, I've already got a book written, well, partly written, and I'm working on it. But anyway, regardless, when everything's measured by your happiness, it doesn't just feel like happiness. That's what you call pure joy. You know, when and it doesn't even matter if you're going to work or have a boss, or you know you're under someone else all day, or you know whatever the fuck it is. Because there's people who have a boss that are still bosses. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real here. You know, there's people who have bosses that are doing very fucking well, and toast to you. That was a non-alcoholic toast, by the way. Anyway, when you're happy with yourself, right? When 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 you have that inner peace, and when you're doing something that fills your soul, along with being physically healthy, by the way, because health is everything. Well, then you've already succeeded. You've won at life, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. I don't give a fuck how big your house is. I don't give a fuck how much jewelry you got. None of that shit, bro. What kind of car you drive? None of that shit, bro. Like, you won. You got it, bro. Like, if you a happy ass motherfucker, you got it. For real. And I mean genuinely happily. Not the people who, you know, hide their pain with a smile, man. And which is very heartbreaking to think about, you know. You know, I've lost a couple of people like that. People who nobody really realized, you know, that they were feeling like how they felt because they were there for everybody else, or they just kept a smile on their face and just laughed through life, you know, and made everybody else laugh. But they were actually suffering behind that smile, you know, and that's a sad thing to think about. But anyway, man, if you've got all those things, man, you have literally won. Like, you're a literal champion. You got the victory, for real, for real. And think about it. In this life, in this day and age, they want you to think that you need all kind of shit. But what else do we really need? you know, but happiness. Because we spend so much time like chasing after success in the traditional sense, money, status, fame, recognition, but and not everybody wants fame, but what's the point of any of that if you're not at peace with yourself? You know, what's the point of any of that shit if you're always drained, if you're always unhappy, or you're struggling with your health? Like how can you even enjoy your money or your shit if you're not even fucking healthy? Like when you have a sense of purpose, when you when you wake up in the morning and feel grateful for like the work you do, and when you're taking care of yourself physically, but not just physically but also mentally, when you're taking care of yourself and you're really putting in like self-love, I promise you, like you've already achieved more than most people ever will. Straight up. Straight up. And it's not it's because it's not about the external shit. It's nice. It's nice to have and shit. I rock jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. Like, I got a little bit of couple designer pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it ain't about that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you feel inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it ain't on you. It's in you. And it's about how you wake up every day with peace in your heart. Knowing you're on the right path. Kane CEO, I appreciate the follow, man. But it's about how you wake up every day with peace in your heart. Knowing you are on the right path and not anybody else's path, but your fucking path. And your vision for life, what you feel is important to you, and that could be a million things, because we're all different, right? That's one of the things that makes the world go round is our differences. It's one of the things that makes life beautiful, our differences. But so I get it, and it's not always easy to get there. It's not always easy to get to that point of happiness. Some of us are still trying to figure that shit out. Shit. Me being one of them, and I haven't had to clock into no job since I was about motherfucking 17. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, I'm still struggling with happiness, brother. But and then there's some of us who are stuck in jobs that drain us. And there's nothing wrong with working, right? But we're still searching for that thing that makes us feel alive. But it's definitely worth the wait. It's definitely worth the weight of figuring the shit out. Like it's because that'll take some time, right? But the journey is worth it too. You just got to keep walking, keep evolving, keep stepping on their necks. You know what I'm saying? And keep trusting not only in yourself, but keep trusting that the right people, keep trusting that the right opportunities, keep trusting that the right moments will come along when they're meant to. And that kind of just ties into the saying, everything happens for a reason, right? But you'll look back one day, right? You'll look back one day, and even if it took some time, even if this shit took some time for you to figure it out, for you to make your first $1 million, or for you to make your first 100 grand, or whatever the hell, like, and it's not about that, but sometimes you need that. You know, sometimes you need those trophies, those victories, and sometimes we get caught up in measuring our victories with the materialistic stuff, right? I mean, some people are just like that, right? But that doesn't mean that they don't want happiness. It doesn't mean that, they'll never be happy. It doesn't mean that they're just trying to cover up insecurities. No matter what stereotype somebody told you, a lot of that shit is just bullshit, but because we're all different. Don't get me wrong, some of them straight up, they fit, the shoe fits for other niggas. You know what I'm saying? But some of that shit is bullshit, right? But regardless of the victories and the money and all these different materialistic things, you'll realize when you get there that you've always had the power to get there. And you've always had the power to shape your own happiness without the materialistic things. You'll realize it. Once you have all that shit, you'll realize it. And just speaking with people who've reached serious victories, who've had, who've reached who've attained a level of success, a level of wealth, and just kind of conversating with them, you kind of just notice patterns, man. And they tell you the same shit. That once you get it, man, you'll start realizing a lot different shit, that you could have realized earlier on in life, but you didn't. But at the end of the day, the people who come and go, the jobs we work, the struggles we face, they all leave their mark, right? But the question is, what stays? And I'll tell you what stays. What stays is the peace of mind, man. What stays is the health, just taking care of yourself. What stays is the love for what we do. And I don't give a fuck what that is. But that shit's gonna stick with you once you figure it out, man. Once you figure out how to keep it, it's gonna be there for a long fucking time. And I know some of the shit I just said could easily hit a nerve for some of y'all. Cause this type of subject isn't always easy to talk about because everybody has their own, points of view on it. So it's not like a general topic, but shit, man, it's real. Sometimes we get caught up in the idea that success has to look a certain way, and that we have to do things a certain way to be happy. But the truth is, we're all so fucking different, man. And we all kind of find our peace in different ways. We all kind of find our happiness in different ways. And I've been thinking about this shit a lot, like, especially when it comes to the people who come into our lives. Some stay, some go, but literally every single one of those people leaves a mark on us. Some people show up for a reason. And while they might not stick around, forever, for a long time or whatever, they shape who we become. And we might not even realize it at the time, And that's what a lot of different life experiences. But sometimes that's the part we need to learn to appreciate the most. And it can be tough, right? When someone leaves, whether it's because of distance or like, change in life paths or, just like some natural happening, we tend to focus on the loss, right? And I'm not talking about somebody dying, you know what I'm saying? But, just things happen and, you lose contact and, or you just never even knew a motherfucker, but they was around for a second and y'all had a good ass conversation and you learned some shit about you, about life, about all kinds of shit. And, yeah, man, sometimes we focus on the loss And yeah, and it may not hurt to a certain extent. Sometimes it does, but there's other times when like somebody briefly comes in our lives and it doesn't actually hurt. But if you really think about it, every person who enters your life, even if briefly, teaches you something. Maybe it's a new, like I said, maybe it's a new perspective on the world. Maybe it's how to love harder, or shit. Maybe it's how to forgive. You know what I'm saying? I know I suck at forgiving. You know what I'm saying? I was, shit, coming from where I come from, it was God forgives, but I don't. You know, so I still suck at forgiving. But maybe these things challenge you in ways that you didn't expect. Maybe they even help you discover parts of yourself that you didn't even know fucking existed. But regardless, the thing is, those not little, but those big footprints they leave don't just vanish. They stick with you. They're they're like the lessons that quietly shape the decisions you make. The way you see shit, the person you are today, right now. So even if someone's only in your life for a little bit, they still gave you something valuable. You know what I mean? And I think we need to. I think it's important that we remind ourselves of that more often. That not every relationship has to last forever to be meaningful. Let me say that again. Not every relationship has to last forever to be meaningful. So next time you meet a girl, man, tell that bitch, bro, like, don't you ever get fucking comfortable. I'm just playing. I'm fucking around. But you get the point though, right? Like, and while we're talking about this shit, like, I want to remind y'all that you don't have to let the people who leave define you. You don't have to let it become a source of pain or loss or some shit. Like, instead, let it be a part of your journey. A part of your story. Like, it's like glass half full, glass half empty type shit. You can honor the impact they had on your life without letting it weigh you down. Like, hey, appreciate that, brody. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Safe travels. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how we grow. That's how we learn shit. And sometimes it's the people who pass through our lives that give us the clarity we need to recognize what we truly want for ourselves. And I don't know, maybe you guys were here for what I was speaking on earlier about, people leaving footprints in our hearts, and kind of just being there for a brief period of time. But that's how we grow, man. And that brings me to something else. That brings me to a whole nother topic, or no, I wouldn't say a whole nother topic, but back to another topic. Back to, okay. Let's talk about this job thing again. Let's talk about this job thing, because I feel like this is like a major struggle within young men right now too. And let me see. Like you shouldn't work a job you don't enjoy. You shouldn't. But if you have to for a while, do what the fuck you gotta do, man. If it keeps your ass out of trouble, or whatever the case may be, or if it gets you to the next level in life, man, do what the fuck you gotta do, bro. Or shit. Or if a job is and I'm not condoning certain actions, but if a job is keeping you to the point where you're under the radar, and you can kind of continue to build what you need to build in order to get to the next level. And there's only a certain specific kind of people are gonna understand what I'm saying right now. But if you need that job, man, to keep your ass under that radar, by all means, keep your ass under that radar. If that's, you already made that decision, that's already what you into, and there was no other option for you, which is possible and it does happen, right? Then man, get that job, bro. Bust that bitch down. And go into that work job with a fucking smile on your face, knowing that you're richer than your fucking boss and he doesn't even fucking know it, right? But anyway, I know that. Okay, so and this is something I feel strongly about because I've lived it before. Just I've lived it a couple times in my life. And I know it's easy to say like just quit your job, find your passion. Like the cliche shit that everybody says, right? But I'm not talking about throwing in everything away and saying fuck it and just full sending the shit. I'm talking about finding ways to shift your focus. As you're doing something you don't want to do, you can still find ways to shift your focus, to make small, dedicated, but also deliberate choices that align with who you are and what you truly want out of life. And I don't know what the fuck that could be. I don't know. But I mean, okay, think about it. How many of us wake up and how many of y'all wake up and go to work simply because you have to? Not because you're excited, not because it fuels you, you just do it because you need the paycheck, and you need the stability. You need to survive. And that's cool and shit, but we all got responsibilities. But here's the thing. When we're spending so much time doing something we hate, it drains you. It takes away your peace, your energy, your creativity, and among many other things it takes. And that is where burnout and depression and all that shit starts to creep in. Your dreams start to disappear and shit, you start to settle with life. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what I've learned is that if you don't love what you're doing, regardless of what it is, it's not just the job you're dissatisfied with, it's everything. Because when you don't love what you're doing, that feeling spills over into how you feel about yourself, how you see your future, how you interact with other people. And that's why I say it's so important to find something that sparks joy. Something that makes you excited, man. Something that makes you say, like, fuck yeah. Like, I did that shit and I'm doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit. Something that makes you, excited to get out of bed in the fucking morning. It doesn't have to be, some crazy fly ass shit. Like, it doesn't have to be glamorous. It doesn't have to be, some fabulous ass shit. But, and it doesn't have to be the most high paying job either. But it just has to be what's most right for you. You dig what I'm saying? And for me personally, when I finally started focusing on the shit that truly lit me up in life, like a fucking Christmas tree. I'm talking about every time I talk about this shit, like I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? Like my eyes is wide. You might even think a nigga did a couple lines or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how lit a nigga was. You know what I'm saying? But when I started focusing on shit that, truly, made me happy, and not just chasing after external success, or climbing like a corporate ladder or some shit, I felt a shift, and I think I was 21 when I felt that shift. You know, I was 21 when I started my first business. Man, it was a kiosk in the middle of the mall, and I sold accessories. Wallets, watches, purses, handbags, belts, even sold cologne and perfume, all the accessories you could think of, man. And 6 months later, I turned that into a clothing store. And just after that, man, I just kept opening up businesses over and over and over again, man. Sold a business in 2018. Just started doing a lot of different shit, right? But the thing about it was, when I was 21 and I opened up that first business, I did it out of, I don't even, for lack of a better term, man, I don't even know, like I know why I did it, but I don't even know what to call it. But I did it because, honestly, out of desperation. I did it because I was heavy in the streets at that time in my life, bro. Like, I was heavy in the streets, man. Like, I was young, but I was doing some real heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get into all that, but it that's when and I was young and I was dumb, so I had one foot in the streets and one foot in the corporate world trying to figure everything out and shit. But once I kind of hit the ground running with that business shit, that's when I knew, like, man, I don't never want to work for nobody, bro. Like, man, my spirit too big for that shit. Like, man, my vision too big, man. My goal board too fucking big for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's when I knew, man. That's when I knew. But regardless, when I felt that shift, I just started my first business and finally, like, gaining enough traction to where I could leave the streets alone a little bit, I started liking myself more. You know what I mean? Like, I started being happier. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, I'm not around a bunch of goons all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I got a business on the other side of town, so I don't even got to worry about, OPPs, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But, and that's long gone, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even close to that anymore, by the grace of God. But I began to like myself a lot more. Like, I had more patience with shit. I felt more peace, and I felt like I was living on purpose, not just living with a purpose, but living on purpose. You know what I mean? And when you feel good about the shit that you're doing, when you're proud of what what you create or contribute, that's when you start to feel more connected with yourself. It gives you a sense of self-respect that you can't really get from a lot of paychecks or job titles. Straight up, man. And I'm not knocking the 9 to 5 hustle, man, at all. But self-respect, man. Respect, period. But self-respect, man, can just take you to places you wouldn't even fucking imagine. And that kind of peace within yourself is fucking priceless. If you have that inner peace along with your physical health and mental health, because those two go hand in hand to me, like, you are wealthier than most people will ever be. And I know I said that before, but you are wealthier than most people will ever be, regardless of what society tells you success should look like. You don't need, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to have a fancy car. It's cool to have all the bitches. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that shit be feeling good, right? It's cool to have, I imagine it would be cool to have a mansion. You know what I'm saying? To be successful, you don't. Those aren't things you need though to be successful. You dig what I'm saying? Like you don't need to have 100,000 followers or be at the top of your field, whatever you do. You need to be content with who you are and what you do. And when you find that peace, it's like you've unlocked the best level of success shit that exists. You know, I was watching some shit on YouTube the other day, and this dude was a fucking brain surgeon. Went to school for almost a decade. Went to MIT, fucking like a smart, fucking educated fucking dude, right? And he just had like this awakening one day, and he was like, "Man, you know what? Man, fuck this shit, bro. Like, man, fuck these patients." Nah, I'm pretty sure he ain't say all that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he just woke up one day and was like, he told his wife, he was like, "Baby, I don't know how much longer I can do this shit. You know, I just feel like life is just way too big to just wake up, go to work, go to this hospital, and that's what we do. You know, like I'm a doctor, so I don't get much of a break. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Like, I'm not happy with my life." And luckily, he had a real ass bitch with him. He had a real ass woman, a real ass wife with him, and she was like, "You know what? We got enough money saved up, baby. Like, you can quit. You know, if I have to hold us down, I'll hold us down. But you can quit and we'll be good for at least a few years." And shit, he started a YouTube channel, started traveling the world, started doing all kind of shit that he loved doing. But then the beauty of it was, not only was he doing shit that he loved, but he started monetizing the shit that he loved. He started making money from doing the shit that he loved. And he's got this whole like series on YouTube and shit. And I was just scrolling the net, you know, just stumbled across the shit. And I was like, damn, man, that shit's inspiring as fuck. You know, and that's proof. You know, that's proof like a motherfucker. But I think we all know the feeling when, and maybe we don't, maybe we all don't, you know, I can't only speak for me, you know, and even though I've only had a job for 2 weeks out of my whole life, only a couple times, I maybe had like 2 to 3 jobs, and I've only worked there for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, so like I said, man, my spirit is too big. Not knocking the people whose spirit ain't too big, but I think we all kind of know that feeling when, and even if you're an entrepreneur though, for real, like even if you're an entrepreneur, no matter what you do, whether you provide a service or you have a product, you can kind of feel this too. But I think we all know that feeling when you've been working at a job that drains the fuck out of you, right? Like, even times as an entrepreneur, I've dealt with clients, or I've dealt with, you know, just a project that was really big, you know, and it just drained the fuck out of me, right? But all in all, we're talking about working a job right now. So actually, this probably doesn't apply as much to entrepreneurs. But if you're working a job that drains you, you know, you feel like you're just going through the motions, but then you start to feel lost, right? That's not living. That's not fucking living, right? You know, then, you know, not to knock the 9 to 5, but that's another part of the beauty of being an entrepreneur. Like, you can pick and choose, man. You can pick and choose your emotions. You can pick and choose when you want to live or work or take a break or not, or whatever the hell, right? But I mean, not so much as you're first starting out. You know, you want to build the business and, you know, get back, you know, put everything back into the business, right? But when you're working a 9 to 5 job and you start to feel lost, like, there's no way you're living. That's not living. That's surviving. you know, and that's not how I want to be. And to be honest, that's not how I want you to be. Like I've done shit when I didn't want to, you know, not longer than 2 weeks, but I've done it. Shit. And the shit ain't fun. Not if you're working because you're bored. Then that's a different story. I've done that too. I've worked a job because I was fucking bored. You know what I mean? And regardless, we all deserve to feel alive in our work, whatever it is we do. We all deserve to find something that excites us, something that we can pour our energy into without feeling like it's taking away our soul. But again, like I said before, like I get it though. Like it's not always easy. Some of us, we don't have the luxury to just quit a job and go chase a dream. And I I would say that I've been there too, but I kind of always been had the mindset like, you know what, fuck it. Shit, whatever, I'm gonna build this shop, I feel like I'm a mastermind, I'm a smart guy. I'm gonna figure this shit the fuck out. You know, and sometimes it took a second to figure it all the way out, and I've dealt with my hardships and my struggles because of that. But even if it's just the small steps, even if it's starting with the tiniest change, whether that's like pursuing something you love to do, like a hobby, or taking an online course, or going to like what's that shit called? Like an event, like a community event, or even just shifting your mindset to appreciate what you do have. That's movement. That's growth. And I know some of y'all are probably out there thinking, I'm stuck. I don't know where to start. But okay, but let me tell you this. If you've got health and peace of mind, like I said before, you already got more than most. You got a solid fucking foundation. Like, go build on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hardest part. And from there, and maybe it'll require some work. Not maybe. It's gonna require some fucking work. But everything else, after you start doing the work, will start to fall into place. You'll start attracting the right people. You'll start attracting the right opportunities. And when the time is right, you'll know exactly what steps to start taking. In order to bring your dream into fruition. So if you're out there struggling with a job you don't love, or you're going through changes with people in your life, one thing to always remember is that it's perfectly fucking fine, man. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to choose happiness, to chase peace, to I don't know, to find work that makes your heart beat a little fucking faster, man. And no matter what, you're enough just as you are right now. Like you don't gotta have all this shit figured out, but you do have the power to make choices that leads you toward the life you want and deserve. Straight up. Straight up, man. And I ain't mean to get a little all sappy on you. But, just straight up, man. And now that we got that shit out the way, I genuinely, sincerely hope that some of y'all are feeling just a little bit lighter. Maybe even a little bit more inspired. and regardless of what you got going on, shit, I'll probably be here in this motherfucking Twitch or somewhere online, rooting for you, saluting you every step of the way. Straight up. So to everyone out there, wherever the fuck you are, I don't know. You could be taking a shit right now watching me on fucking Twitch. But wherever you are in your journey, just know this. Your peace, your joy, and your well-being matter. And they matter more, or they should matter more to you than anything else. Obviously, if you got kids or some shit, no. The kids definitely come first, right? But their peace and their happiness. But then it's like, if you have kids and you don't put your peace and your happiness first, how are you going to reiterate or radiate peace, love, and happiness with them? So that's why it's very important. Self-love is very important. Taking care of yourself is very fucking important. Yes, I have cheat days. Yes, some days I eat like shit. Yes, some days I'm in the gym. Yes, some days, there's a lot of other things too, but I don't want to, tell my fucking self over here and shit. But at the end of the day, if you're watching this, actually, if you're watching this and you're feeling stuck or uncertain or some shit, just remember that you got time, bro. Like, I'm not saying that like you got all the time in the world, because life is actually short when you get down to the nitty gritty of life, but you got time, man. And don't let anyone rush you into a life that you don't want. Stay true to yourself. Do what the fuck makes you happy. Take care of your fucking body. Like, if you got a bare belly right now, and I'm guilty of this, man, do a couple of sit-ups every day, man. Maybe when you're out, instead of choosing this to eat, say, you know what, I'm gonna try this. It might be a little bit healthier. And trust me, you are going to come out on the other side strong than a bitch. You're going to come out wiser. You're going to come out of there more fulfilled, feeling more fulfilled than you ever thought possible. So, know this. Every person you meet, no matter how brief, no matter how quick, no matter how short, has the power to change your story. So embrace those moments, even the short moments, because they matter more than we ever fucking realize, And with that being said, I'm going to stop preaching right now. Right the fuck now. I'm going to stop preaching and I'm going to get on with my night. But, excuse me, excuse me again. I just wanted to share that with y'all tonight. And I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart for tuning in, for listening, and for sharing this space with me. And with that being said, my name is Cloudy Wingz, CLOUDYWINGZ, and that's the end of the stream. But let's keep walking this road together. Peace.